Dear learners, I welcome you all in this video series of how to give a compelling job interview. All of us are aware about interviewing, that it is a basic norm for most of the enterprises, be it any sector, industry, government or private organization. If you have been asked to face one, it becomes a high stakes step to get your dream job. And then you simply start preparing and preparing to build a strong case for yourself as the fit and the desirable candidate. Giving a general presentation is already daunting at times, but selling yourself is very, very hard. So if you are not able to face the interview properly, you are not able to present your views clearly, your spectacular credentials, your stellar expertise, and your strong resume doesn't count at all. It is also quite natural that you become stressed, you feel nervous, and you are terrified with nightmares of facing the interview panel. How it will be, for how long it will be, how will I manage, so on and so forth. So, let me prime you up for accepting this challenge, and through the help of this video, I will throw light on how you can set yourself different from others and how you have to, go for preparing the interview, that is before, during and after the interview is also over. So you have to really work out on all fronts before you start facing interviews. Now coming on to what is an interview. It is simply a conversation between a job applicant and a representative of an employer, which is conducted to assess whether the applicant should be hired or not. And interview is of two kinds, basically structured interviews and the unstructured or freewheeling kind of interviews. Now let me explain you the both. A structured interview is a kind of interview in which the interviewer asks you a particular set of predetermined questions which he or she must have prepared well in advance. So it is also known as standardized interview because it contains a standard set of predetermined questions. So also it is known as researcher administered interview, as it aims at investigating all the research variables which are used using the same set of questions. Now coming on to the second category, that is the unstructured interview. It is a kind of interview that does not make use of a standardized or predetermined set of questions. Here the interviewer asks different questions from you in line with the context and the purpose of the systematic investigation or relative to the post you have applied for. So typically speaking, an unstructured interview relies on your spontaneity, how spontaneously you answer the questions, and is kind of flexible in nature and includes many descriptive questions which are asked. So in this, many times it happens that this type of interview is also viewed as a very informal kind of setting where everyday conversations are involved because of its extremely colloquial style of interviewing a person. So in the coming slides I will try to prime you to accept the challenge very boldly, that how you should prepare yourself and set yourself different from other candidates who are facing the interview. So in the coming slides we will discuss more about what kind of preparation you actually need to carry out for getting hired by an employer, and the preparation is like before the interview, during the interview and after the interview. So there are a number of steps you can take before or after the interview is over, just to ensure that you leave a terrific impression on your potential employer. So your journey starts with the submission of your resumes. where the evaluation of the submitted resumes takes place in the company or the organization. Screening and shortlisting is done, followed by the selection of candidates, and you get a call from the company to attend the interview. So, the first and the foremost thing over here is that when you receive a call for attending an interview in an organization, just don't carry that casual or let go approach with you. Do not assume that you just have to simply fulfill a formality. You have to dress up yourself, carry your credentials, face the panelists, and fulfill it like a formality before you receive the job. No, your attitude should be totally different, and in fact, you should feel as if you are going for an audition and you have to really make up for it. So you need to be very well versed and equipped. Now, here comes the job description. You should avail this opportunity which is given to you to attend the interview to demonstrate and showcase your all work ethics and skill sets. You should be prepared to explain your interest in this suitable profile, the opportunity which you have received, and why you think that you are the best person which is suitable for this role. So you have to very thoughtfully ponder on your goals and qualifications related to the position you have seen in the vacancy, also related to the employer. So very carefully review the job by doing an extended research on the organization. I will deal with this point in details, that how you can go for extended research and survey and update yourself regarding the know-abouts of the company or the organization for which you are going to face the interview. So align yourself, and you can work out on a kind of 5 to 10 probable questions which are likely to be asked in the interview. So know your audience very, very well. Talk to friends, contacts, read and aware yourself about the current news, the company reviews from the current and the previous employees, and just take them as a guide, but not as a fact. Think very, very carefully about what kind of skill sets you have, what are your achievements, your accomplishments, and what will be your interview answers which are going to resonate with your interviewers also. So here you have to ponder on very, very carefully and jot down. Often what candidates do is they just look at the information a company is pushing on its website or on its social media page. So here I advise you to go into that depth and make the things very, very clear at your end. Maybe you can, read the company's profile on the blog or maybe on the Facebook page. And here when you will go through such contents, you are going to get to know the tone of the company's content and what kind of volume does this content speaks about the company. So you will have a better idea. Also, don't forget about the numbers. By numbers, here I mean finding some numbers or figures or percentages just increase your chances when you talk about your responsibilities and your goals and your achievements. And when you mention such kind of statistical figures, it really sweetens the deed and helps your hiring managers or the interviewers to let them know that yes, you have worked out well before the interview. So don't just think about how you will answer certain questions every time, but practice looking in the mirror. The best way to do it is standing before the mirror and practicing them aloud. This is going to, boost your confidence also. So when you go for doing extended survey and extended search of the company, its profile, its reviews, you have to examine the hierarchical organization and determine whether the position you are applying for really fits well within that organization Then you are going to analyze what the employer is trying to see through your qualifications. And then you have to tweak your resume accordingly. The next important question that you have to ask yourself is that why me? Why me? So you have to explain your interest very well in this opportunity, and every time you have to speak of that you are the best person suitable for this role. Be very, very straightforward in answering the questions. The questions basically the interviewers ask are open-ended and close-ended questions. And you should be always aware about the duties also of that particular job profile. If you are the person who is fit for that role and you are going to get the job, what will be your duties towards that job? Now coming back to open and close-ended questions, right? Open-ended questions begin with tell us something about yourself, describe a situation where you have taken a lead and you have become successful, any kind of challenging time or difficulty you have faced and how well you managed it. Such kind of descriptive questions. When did you left your last job? When did you join before facing this interview? What was the firm or the organization? So on and so. So these are open-ended questions, but the closed-ended questions are put forward by the interviewer just to confirm that the information you have provided in your credentials, in your resume is authentic or not. So the interviewer also kind of checks the level of confidence you have when you are facing the interview by asking some closed-ended questions. So the kick here is that you will be presenting to a warm audience and you already have impressed them once with your resume, and now you have the second opportunity to just knock them out. So choose your words very wisely and very, very carefully. Your goal is to convince the HR that you are the best candidate for this job profile. Now, before you actually face an interview, you should have a checklist ready with you, that is an interview checklist, in which you have to focus more on your strengths. You should always practice speaking in front of the mirror, as I already told you, and you should be very much concerned about your body postures, body movement, which is related to body language. So we all know, we are aware about the body language, which is kind of very non-verbal conversation that involves our body movements. A kind of gesturing which conveys, a great deal of information, maybe between two individuals or maybe between a group of people, maybe between a student and a professor without speaking. So body language plays a very pivotal role here. And I suggest you that, you work out, modulating your voice tones in front of the mirror, maybe 100 times, and work out on your body language and your postures and your body movements. The more you are going to do, the better you will be after each and every attempt. So this slide shows a series of some tentative questions which are normally asked in the interview. Like, tell me about yourself, why do you want this job and why should we hire you, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and any kind of challenging or conflict situations you have faced at work, so describe them, how you dealt with them, and how did you overcome them. Such kind of questions are normally asked. And next is very, very important. Continue practicing, and along with practicing, keep on having mock interview with your friends. So share your accomplishments, share your achievements, and many a times you know that you have the desired skill sets, but just to mention the skills you have and comparing the situation where you have actually used your skill to overcome a situation is a great different thing. There is a quite lot of difference between the both. So it's better and it's always an excellent way of expressing that you are, you are very good at something and how you used your skills and managed the situation. So saying that you are very skilled at something will not be that effective, learners, as sharing your accomplishments which proves your skill level. So this is going to leave a good impression and this will be more effective also. So a very good, or I should say fantastic way to share your accomplishments with the interviewer and the panelists is by describing those situations in your life, in your personal or maybe professional life, where you successfully used a particular skill. So you can always, narrate some kind of short stories also, true stories also. And as and when you recollect in your mind, start penning them down so that you don't forget at the 11th hour. So think of this as a small success storytelling to the interview. So you must have faced many a times challenging situations, and if you are going to narrate a story or describe a situation where you have, achieved something related to the requirement of job where you are facing the interview at present, it is going to work wonders for you. So the examples here are that maybe you have led a team as a team leader, or may not be a team leader, maybe a worthy member of the team. You have done something innovative, you have created a product or a process, you have managed some kind of stressed situation at your workplace, and you have involved in some kind of problem solving. So if you narrate such kind of accomplishments to your interviewer and the panelists there in the interview panel, this must have been surely beneficial to your previous employer also, and must have increased their profitability, reduced expenses, or improved the customer or the employee satisfaction ratio also, and definitely must have provided some kind of major benefits to your employer at that particular time when you have actually dealt with this situation. So when you are facing the interview and you are narrating such kind of true stories, this is definitely going to create a very good impression about your skill sets and how you will manage them in your previous job. So gradually, when you will start working on this, you can have a star description of each and every situation. Now coming on to the star scheme. You can build a star scheme of yourself. The star scheme showcases situation. S stands for situation. The task, the work. The T stands for this task. A stands for your action, and finally the end result, and R stands for the result. So whichever situation you have faced, those circumstances and context when you will talk about, it will be denoting the situation. Now the problem or the objective you are trying to achieve will be your work assigned, that is your task. Now which kind of skills you involve and you may use will symbolize your action, what you did to accomplish and achieve the task successfully. And finally, you are going to E the results. R stands for result, that is the successful resolution of that situation. So, I request you to share your true stories about how you handled a situation which demonstrates your skill sets, your qualities as a great employee, and hopefully with such narrations, which are very much relevant to that particular job opportunity which you have applied for, is going to give an added advantage to you. So in the concluding part of this video, I request you to start this now, do it now, analyze the job profile, do extended research on the company, make a match of your qualifications and skill sets with the help of a star scheme, and practice the art of interviewing again and again. So, dear learners, if you have time, keep looking and keep learning. The more you know, the better off you will be. Not only you will be in their socks off mode for the interview, but your research which you have actually did for that company or the organization will not go wasted at all. So this research, what you have actually worked for before facing the interview, could help you determine that the employer might not be a good place for you to work. So this works vice versa also. So anyways, you will get added advantages for your future endeavors also. So dear learners, dear students, you can be a star no matter what your profession is. The only question is whether you are ready to let prospective employers know how good you are. Think over it. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next video. Thank you.